Welcome everybody back to episode 32 of the Off the Rails podcast. If you're listening to this, just know that we haven't even released episode 30 and 31. Those are coming the week that you're listening to this. Tomorrow's one's dropping, and then Friday another one's dropping, and then you'll be back with us on a normally scheduled Tuesday after this hiatus that we've taken. Gems, we've been busy people. We've tried to do this. We've just been like, can't catch each other. You've been working. I think you were saving lives last week when we tried to do this. I was fixing a flat. I went on vacation. Did a couple things. So nice to be back with you, Gems.
Yeah, it is nice to be back. I think last week somebody caught something on fire.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then it stormed super hard.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's just the life of Gems. He's doing something, always doing something to save some people. Yeah. So I mean, it's been a minute. I don't think we've addressed your new. We both, since this podcast has started, we both changed our Twitter name. I've changed to at the tone Gordon, and then you just recently changed yours to
at OTR Gems.
And if you don't realize that's OTR because of Off the Rails, just want to throw that out there. So
I tried a bunch of different ones, and that was the one that finally was available. Gems itself is too short, apparently.
Yeah, and then it's like weird because I was just setting up another Twitter the other day, and that was too long. So apparently you only get like 15 characters.
But I think Joe Buck's Twitter is at Buck. So maybe if we get famous enough, I can take at Gems.
Maybe. I wonder if no one has it though.
I don't think it was I thought it told me it needed to be at least 5 characters.
Huh.
I didn't even search it. At JEMS.
I would assume somebody has it if they can.
There is. They joined in July of 2012. They have 165 followers.
So you have more followers than that.
Mm-hmm. They have done 0 things unless they've deleted tweets.
Well, you heard it here first. Gems is the real Gems.
There is a Gems Connect, which I think is Gems is the source for emergency medical services professionals. An official Clarion Events, Inc.
That's hilarious. That's good for you. Well, EMS, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
So Gems, I didn't realize your name was twofold until just now.
Yeah. Look at me go.
Yeah. I mean, look at us.
But now I'm just Otter Gems.
Speaking of us, I'm this isn't a sponsor or anything, but I'm drinking a Stewart's Premium Spiked Seltzer, root beer spiked seltzer. Trying this thing out.
Stewart's makes regular root beer, right?
They do. Pretty good root beer too. The glass bottle.
I'm drinking a Diet Pepsi.
Nice. This has supposedly 5% alcohol, but it only has 1 gram of carbs, so keto friendly.
Nice. Are you ketoing?
Not currently, but I'm planning on getting back into it.
Yeah, I plan on. We've been planning on it since January 1st.
Yeah. Well, I just decided that I'm going to order the Beachbody on demand thing.
Yeah.
Because I just set up in our basement with a TV and like Google Chromecast and stuff, so I can Chromecast the workouts down there. We have space down there.
I think Taylor has that, but I'm not sure.
Sweet.
But I've realized since I started coaching tennis that I am. When I knew this before I started coaching tennis, that I am not in shape.
You're not in shape, yeah.
No.
Well, I mean, it happens, right? I mean, the thing is like phases of life, right? Like, you know, you have a child under a year old. So I mean, every time I've ever gained weight like significantly, it's been after having a child.
And Addie's only 15 months old.
Yeah.
So I've had a long stretch of small children, I guess.
Long stretch, yeah. Because Claire's what?
Claire's 4.5.
So,
pushing 4 3/4.
Yeah.
She likes to make sure she adds the fractions.
Yeah, so I mean, you had a toddler, and then you had basically a newborn, and then you had basically another newborn. So yeah. So.
My big thing is, if I could work out in the morning, it would be fantastic. But it's hard enough to get up at 4:30.
Yeah.
getting up at 4, but I guess if I did it every day, we'd have to start going to bed earlier. I think Taylor and I talked about maybe after the kids go to bed, working out together, like doing separate things, but like at the same time.
I was gonna say, me and my wife can't work out together because she's like, she gets pissed off because I lose weight faster, just naturally as a dude. Like I think we always lose weight faster.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think that's a guy thing.
Yeah, and then she gets frustrated, and then or like I get these phases where I'm like I want to do nothing, or if I get into it, then I'm like all the way in. There's like no middle ground.
Yeah, I think I've heard that if you do things, was it 2 weeks or 3 weeks, it starts a routine.
Somebody told me 8. If you do anything 18 times,
8, so it's just over 2.5 weeks.
But I don't know how true that is. But yeah,
I should try it. Now softball's over for me, so like I don't have like, at least on Sundays I was doing something semi-active.
Yeah,
I do play at tennis practice most of the time, so
nice.
That's helped.
You fucking those kids up? Oh, I mean, yeah, I messed those kids up.
Our number one singles kid is really freaking good. So I haven't even attempted to play him. The head coach knows better. That would just look bad if like one of the coaches gets destroyed by the kid.
Yeah, makes sense.
I've been doing mostly doubles work because that's what I played in high school was doubles still.
Makes sense. I bet you we would have made a really good doubles team because I played my freshman year, and then like I played baseball the rest of the time. I mean, I played baseball my freshman year too, but like for some reason I played both.
So in Indiana, tennis is a fall sport, obviously, if I'm coaching it right now for boys. But in college, it was a spring sport because I did both in college.
Yeah, it was a spring sport at my high school. So,
well, there's still a chance. My the head coach, who was my high school coach, did not start playing tennis until he was 30, and he is very fucking good.
Wow.
So, I mean, if we ever blow this thing up and end up in the same area, we could get in like an adult league. I would like to.
You know, you said you wanted to play in a celebrity all-star game, maybe a celebrity tennis tournament.
Yeah, that would be bad. Like that is the ideal goal for me. I want to play in a celebrity softball game. Ever since I thought it before, but like after seeing Brant do it, I was like, that would be awesome.
Hell yeah, dude! I think it'd be tight. Yeah, dude, I'm all in. I love doing that shit, that kind of shit. Like, just it. How did you play any all-star games when you were playing baseball? Did you play any of those like they called them like we had like blue gold, we had like blue gray, we had like all-American games, all that kind of shit.
Well, obviously in like Little League every year we had the all-star team that I was always on, but in high school I played the Sports Fest game, which was the South Bend. I think it was sponsored by the South Bend Tribune, which is like the big newspaper.
Gotcha.
They pulled the kid or two from each. Well, not from each school. You had to qualify for it, so some schools didn't have it. And then like, I think there were 4 zones for it. There was a Michigan sect. And then there were like East, Metro, and West, I think, of the coverage area.
Nice.
But I did not make the big All-Star game in Indiana is the North. I think it's the North-South game. I'm starting to try to learn.
Is that where the North was the South?
I believe so. It's the Civil War. I'm trying to learn everything, remember everything from when I was in school because like we've changed conferences. So like we're playing totally different new schools in tennis now.
Yeah.
So I'm learning.
And
I guess the game has changed since I played.
For real?
Yeah, because when I always played doubles, we were pretty aggressive where we were both at the net most of the time.
Yeah.
And apparently now there's usually a kid that stays back. Like Coach was saying a couple of years ago it changed. I guess rackets or strings or something are getting better. Kids are just ripping forehands more than they did before.
It's wild.
Yeah, I don't know. We had our first match today. We won 5-0, but
I don't know. Would we be good together because we're both lefties?
I think it would throw people off because both times I had 2 different doubles partners in varsity in high school.
Yeah, and
it was a lefty righty both times. So
got you. I mean, I can play righty. I can play. I have that. I'm sort of ambidextrous. I feel like we would kill it because I think that's probably why you're pretty good at tennis. Is probably because you're probably good with your right hand too.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy hitting a backhand. So, but I can't bat right-handed, which is weird because they're not too different. But I think 2 lefties would throw people off more because most of the time, like with my serve, it's going to the backhand of the returner.
Yeah.
because I spin it and it bounces out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if we got
we'd
double
mess
that,
people up. Yeah, we'd mess people up, man. See, you just gotta gotta blow this thing up, and then we have like add the tennis court to our compound.
there we go.
Hell
I
yeah.
was thinking about that the other day. I was like, I have a nice flat piece of property here. I was like, it's just a slab of cement, essentially. I'm sure it's a different kind of cement, but
Yeah.
like,
But
can't be
basically,
that expensive.
oh, I was my kids went over to a friend's house with my wife. I think it was last Sunday maybe, and they took a picture. Of the people next door had a flat like half court basketball, and they were like, "Dad, we need this." And I'm like, "We're on a hill both ways. Like we have a hill in front and a hill in the back. Like
Well,
all that shit
would,
out."
I've noticed when a lot of people do have tennis courts, they double as like a basketball court. You just pull the net down and
That's the smartest way to do it.
yeah.
You get like a twofer. I mean, I guess it's not. I guess it's not fully like full court. It's a little bit bigger than a half court. So yeah, but I mean, if you're doing both on a regular basis, you might as well make them both then.
If you guys would went out to that property you sent me a few months ago that you said your wife liked, you would have had plenty of room there for that.
Dude, that's what I was looking for last time we were looking at property. I was like looking at like any that had like basketball courts, especially indoor basketball courts, because I'm like, someone's got to have an indoor basketball court in Colorado,
Right?
or but now I'm thinking about building like a barn. If we get land, build a barn and then put a basketball hoop inside.
The farmers across the field that way, like literally, I see their barns from my house, have a basketball court in the loft of their barn.
In the loft, like up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, we used to go because Ryan, the son, is one of. They have like 6 kids.
Yeah.
The one son was a year older than me in school, and we played baseball together.
Oh,
And
sweet.
we'd go over there sometimes after games or whatever.
That's tight. I mean,
How was Virginia Beach?
Virginia Beach was cool, man. Fucking saw my parents. I had a little bit of a cluster trying to get my daughter back to us because she goes and visits her mom for the summertime for a couple weeks. And then was supposed to come back to Colorado, but then we ended up sending her to Virginia, and then her one flight got delayed, and then her other flight she missed. So like it was just a cluster. So it was like we went through like I was on the freaking phone with Delta a little too much, but other than that, was pretty good though.
Have you ever missed a flight?
Have I ever missed a flight? No, I've never missed a flight.
I've never have either. I've only flown like probably 4 times in my entire life.
Jesus, for real?
I can probably name them all relatively quick. The first time I flew, I was 18 it was freshman year. I might have been 19 at that point. Freshman year of college, our spring trip was at Disney World.
Okay.
So that was the first time I flew. And then flew out to San Diego once, Vegas once, and I think Oregon. I know for sure Oregon because that's where my appendix currently resides.
Yeah.
And I think that was it. So I mean, like, well,
did you
4 times, but it was round trip, so 8.
Did you fly to Atlanta last year when you went there?
No, we drove.
Drove. Oh, I just figured you flew. That makes sense though.
No, we drove because we went to Tennessee first, and then we went to Atlanta, and then
that makes more sense.
Another part of Georgia.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, I mean I've flown a ton. It wasn't my first time flying. It was actually my second time flying. My first time flying was actually international, so we flew to Iceland. It was my first time flying. And then
how long is that flight? It's probably not as long as you think, right?
You know what? I don't even remember. I was so young. I'd have to look it up. Let's see. It was from, I think it was from like Detroit to JFK to Iceland. So, but let's see. I'll do JFK to Iceland. JFK to Iceland.
I will be flying in the end of March, I believe, is when we're going to Vegas again.
Oh, sweet. That's not bad.
My buddy finally picked a date for their wedding, so we can kind of start planning the bachelor party. But I don't think I'm the best man, but I took over
the duties
of this because I don't trust anybody else to do it.
Okay, so this is nonstop. JFK to Keflavik. I'm gonna guess that's right. Well, this is Reykjavik, but this says KEF, so I'm gonna assume it's Kef. We lived in Keflavik, which is near. Um, this is a 5 hour and 40 minute flight.
That's not too bad.
But I assume you're also going forward.
Well, I think the usually on those flights it'll say like the time there and the time you arrive, and it'll be like local time to that area.
Okay.
But the bottom will show how long the flight actually took.
Because it says you leave 10:25 p.m. from JFK, which is in New York, and then you get to Keflavik, which is where I lived, at 8:05 a.m. and that's an overnight flight, obviously. So it's only 5 hours and 40 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, they're probably like 2.5 hours behind us or so.
Yeah, so that's not terrible.
Or ahead of us, sorry.
Yeah.
Or from like east, I guess from the eastern time zone.
And so that's not too bad. But the flight back, I don't know why we were coming back as a family, and I guess it was probably because it was cheaper. My dad would have been maybe 11, 12 years in the military. It probably was just cheaper to send us for us to fly back. We flew back on an actual military plane.
Oh, nice. And my math is crap there because, like, if that was a 5 hour and 45 minute flight, you would have got there at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
So they're like 4 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah. And I'm also an idiot because I flew to Hawaii in 2015.
Oh well, I mean, how do you figure Hawaii, bro? What are we doing?
I don't know. It was either 15 or 16. I think it was 16.
That's a long flight.
Yeah, I think the way there, it was nonstop both ways. I think the way there was like pushing 9 hours, but the way back with the tailwind, it was like 7.5.
Yeah, that's still a long time. That's a long flight. Fuck that shit. I know I hate flying anymore because I like anything more than like a 2.5 hour flight. I'm over it. I hate it.
Yeah, I prefer if we can drive or if I can talk everybody into driving, I would much rather drive. Like even going to Vegas, I was like, if you guys, it's a 25-hour drive. If you guys want to run a minivan, we definitely fly home. 100% flying home. No way we could drive after that. Yeah. But I was like, if we get 6 of us in a minivan, we all drive 4 hours because it's a 25-hour drive.
Yeah.
And it saves like $100 a person.
So 600. Yeah, but you got to run a car.
Yeah, I had done the math on it, and the gas buddy or whatever it is said it would be about $250 in gas, and it was like $250 to rent a car or something.
So you save like $100.
Yeah.
Fair. I always like trips though because I think you have a better. I was just talking to my wife about this. The journey I think is better than the destination.
Yeah, we always have fun when we drive to Yellowstone because we stop at wherever.
Yeah, it's fun. I think the journey is like some of the best part of it. But that flight from Iceland, right? Flight back from Iceland, we've got on a military jet, and I swear to God, in the back it had 2x4s, like drilled into like metal brackets, and then basically what equates to like lawn chairs, zip tied to those, and that's what we sat on. There was also a zip tied down porta potty. That was the bathroom, and there was a dead body on board because we were taking the dead body back.
Was he strapped in a seat like Weekend at Bernie's?
No, he was in a casket.
Okay.
Or a body bag thing, whatever.
That sounds like some sort of like military Groupon your dad got.
Probably, dude. I'm like thinking back. I'm like, there's no way that flight cost any money.
How many years of active duty did your dad do?
Let's see. He got in in 78 and he got out in 2004. I think he did 26 years. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. What do you know the highest rank he obtained, or are you allowed to know?
I don't. I lost track, but I know the last one I remember is he was a chief warrant officer 4. So other than that, I have no fucking clue. I know it was a big deal when he became a chief because at the time, I guess it was really hard to cross over because he didn't go to school.
Okay.
So it was like a big deal that he like actually got picked to be a chief and then worked his way up that rank. So, but yeah, he's pretty high up though. I know that.
Yeah, I just looked, and from my house to, and I didn't put in your exact address. I know Taylor has it in the address book, and I didn't feel like asking on the podcast.
Yeah.
15 hours and 18 minutes.
I can put it in here. I'll put it in the private chat. Then you can tell me exactly.
Just didn't want you to, from our 7 listeners, I didn't want you to get spam mail.
No, I think we'll be fine. Yeah, no, I actually really like it out here though. And it's a nice area out here. But yeah, our house is. That's the other thing. We've had some issues with the house. Our son's window was leaking when we got back from vacation. The air conditioner froze over. I fixed that one. Luckily, it was just the filter.
15 and 1/2 hour.
That's not bad.
No, I think it's a pretty.
Does it take you through Kansas? Does it take from where you're at? Does it take you through Kansas or does it take you through Nebraska?
So there's 2 routes. One is 15 hours and 30 minutes, and the other one's 15 hours and 56 minutes. The shorter route, obviously, Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana. And the other one will take you through Missouri, Kansas.
Nice. Oh, okay. Yeah. I went through the Missouri one. I did that before.
It kind of sounds like a boring drive.
It's a super boring drive. Kansas is boring to drive too. Fucking that shit's boring as fuck. But does it drop you down like halfway through Kansas? That faster one you said? It like goes through Colorado, Kansas, and then you go into Nebraska and then Iowa.
The faster one, you do like the upper northwest corner of Kansas.
Oh, got you.
And then
that's a boring drive. I drove that at night one time, driving to Iowa, with my wife, and because she has family out there, and it's like every 10 miles is the same 10 miles. It's like factory, little eatery, gas station, mill, factory. It's like you're on like a fucking like treadmill with your car.
The only thing on there, like Omaha isn't bad, but like during the College World Series is when it's not bad.
Yeah. Omaha's not bad. Omaha is basically where I met my wife.
Omaha might actually be like the halfway point between us.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Because we thought about driving to Indianapolis when we went on our honeymoon, because we went to the Lions in Indianapolis week 1. We got married. And we thought about driving because we have family right around Omaha. And I think Omaha is like right around the dead middle point.
7.5 hours, so damn near.
Yeah. Well,
I did tell Taylor, I was like, when I go out to Vegas for Dennis's bachelor party, I said I should just leave like a day or two ahead of everybody else. And I'll fly into Denver for a day.
Yeah.
And then see Tone and then fly the rest of the way. She goes, "You're not going to Denver without me."
Well, we have an airport in Colorado Springs. You just come to Colorado Springs. And then
okay. Yeah, then she won't be so upset.
Speaking of meeting up with people, you recently met up with some of our Ion boys. One that I've met, one that I haven't met. I've met Marco. I met him and Tyler last year.
Yeah. Your audio cut out on my side, so I don't know if you're everywhere.
I don't know. Then I'll restate it. You can meet up with people, our Ion boys. You met up with 2 of our Ion guys.
Yep. I met Marco when Bree was with him, and then Flegs, his wife Jen, and his girls were there. So we met up at the state fair because Marco was coming into town to celebrate his birthday weekend.
Nice.
And Flegs obviously lives down in Indy, so he met us out at the fair.
That's dope.
Marco taller than I suspected.
I know. I was like, he was taller than I suspected, but I also met him with Tyler, and Tyler's much taller than everybody. So
that's what he was telling me. Tyler's like 6'5" or something ridiculous.
Yeah. So I was like the short one, but I was like, also I'm like 6 foot, 6'1" if I stand up straight. Marco's, I gotta say, it's probably 6 foot, 6'1", somewhere in there.
Yeah, that was probably about right because I'm 5'10" and he wasn't too much taller than me. I think the whole group is fairly average sized except for Tyler.
Yeah, Tyler's a little tall, and don't forget Tanner is only like 4'8". So
That is true.
So.
But it was nice. Those guys were pretty much everything I expected. Just
yeah,
no different than talking on here or talking in the group chat.
definitely. I would love to have it like if you and the wife and the kids want to come out at some point. I mean, we can probably make accommodations for you guys. I would love to have you guys out here. Also,
we definitely want to.
Might have to make it out your way at some point and take my wife to a Colts game if we have to get back to 100% capacity.
They're not back at 100 yet. Probably going back down too.
I don't know. I was just guessing. I don't. But I know. But you're perfect location because she wants to go to Wrigley, so we could drive into Wrigley. And
yeah.
So we could maybe hit a Colts game if they overlap and play. I don't know if they overlap and play. They have to, right?
Yeah, because the month of September.
So it won't be too bad. What's the closest airport to you guys? Like that?
South Bend.
Is that like it's got a decent amount of flights going there?
South Bend, yeah, they have a decent amount of flights. It's cheaper to fly out of like Midway in Chicago or O'Hare, but and like Midway is only probably about a little over an hour. O'Hare's probably an hour and a half.
It's not terrible. Not terrible.
How South Bend Airport is like 20 minutes away though, so that's nice. Maybe 25.
One of the dudes at one of the stores that I do got me a little scared to go to Chicago. I was talking to him. He was brand new at the store. I was like, yeah. We were chit chatting, and some lady was like parked. They have like 2 gas pumps, and so it's like they're like this. So the middle, you have to kind of be off to one side of the other to fit 2 cars. And the lady was just in the middle, and she was just parked there forever, right? So some lady came in, and she was like, "Hey, that lady's been in the middle forever." And I was trying to get gas, and she made it like a whole clusterfuck for me to get gas, and had to go around. And he was like, "I'll go tell her to move." He like walked out. And like she drove off. I guess she didn't want. She either figured he was coming out to kick her out, or she was just going to drive off anyway at that point. But, but he came back in, and the lady was like, I can't believe he just went out there. She's like, in this day and age, he's like, I've been shot and stabbed 24 times, and then I was just like, the fuck. And then like the lady left, and I was like, you've been shot and stabbed 24 times. He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm from the south side of Chicago. I was like, never going to south side of Chicago.
There's parts of the south side that are pretty rough. I was just on the south side of Chicago last night.
That's where I was bringing it to.
I took Claire to her first White Sox game, first major league game. She's been to a South Bend Cubs game, but the first major league game.
Yeah.
And
she betrayed you. She was wearing all A's.
Yeah, I mean, her favorite team is the Cubs.
Yeah.
And that's just because everyone else in our entire family are Cubs fans. And I was looking for tickets for a while, and I found pretty good seats at a good price for the Sox A's game.
Yeah.
And the A's just happened to be Taylor's dad's second favorite team, and Taylor's uncle's second favorite team. They're Cubs and A's fans. I don't know why, but they are.
Are they from the West Coast? Because you've also said that they same people are Oregon State fans, right?
Taylor's mom is from Oregon, but Taylor's dad's from right here.
Oh, okay.
He's a Raiders fan too, so he must just have some sort of affinity for Oakland.
Maybe he just like really liked Oakland at some point.
So yeah, he got Claire's idea to wear an A shirt, so Taylor ordered one for her. Taylor, I'll give her credit. She was trying to get Claire to wear a sock shirt, and she wouldn't do it. And then he gave her A's hat.
Yeah.
But so we got there right as the parking lot opened, and then we probably had to wait 20 minutes to get into the stadium.
Nice.
And then we got there, and we went right to the outfield because she was wanting a ball.
Yeah.
Like, well, batting practice is going on. We'll go out there. And I told her about Andrew Chafin on the way. I was like, Claire, there's a guy for the A's that played for the Cubs earlier this year, and now he plays for the A's. And she's like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then we're in right center. I would call it right center, so like closer to right.
Yeah.
And we're probably there like 3 minutes. And he like runs after a ball and is looking up in the stands, and I'm holding Claire. I was like, Claire, wave. So she waved, and he waved back. And then the next ball that came out there, he picked it up, and he goes, can she catch? I said, no, I'll catch it for her. So I set her down. He threw the ball, and I gave it to Claire. And nice. I posted the picture. I don't know if I posted it on Twitter or not, but I posted it on Facebook.
I saw it on Facebook. Yeah. And then you like wrote something. You messaged him.
Yeah, I sent him a DM on Twitter and just told him thanks. It made her day, and sent him the picture of her and stuff. And
yeah,
it was he responded, and I can read it. But what did he say? he said, "You're very welcome, bud. I hope she enjoyed it." And said she
Yeah.
definitely did. She was asking when we could go back.
That's way cool. That's super awesome. That's why part of the reason why I love baseball. I mean, part of baseball is weird because it's like there's so much fan player interaction that happens. Not everybody, but if you like sit there, you can obviously like we recently went to a game and it was like I think the attendance was like 41,000 people were there.
Yeah.
And so obviously all 41,000 people aren't interacting with the players on the field, but like we had a couple interactions. Both my daughters got balls from the bullpen because I specifically wanted to. We're Cubs fans, not Nationals fans. We went to Washington Nationals Stadium, so they have their bullpens in the outfield. So I was like, I think it'd be real cool to have no one in front of us, and these are pretty cheap tickets that get the first row right from the bullpen. So
You were there, like, were you there the same night I was at the other White Sox game?
yep, sure,
Right.
yeah.
Trade deadline day.
Trade deadline day, the day, literally the morning that I think Chris Bryant got traded, and also the morning that Trey Turner and Max Scherzer got traded, and then I think the day after Rizzo and Baez got traded.
I think Rizzo went Thursday, and then Baez and Bryant went Friday.
Okay, we went Friday. It was a Friday we went.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then so it was like everybody. There was like nobody. I mean, it's like the rosters were rough. Like
it was like a AAA game or AA game.
It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. But it was cool because we had the bullpen right there. So I was like, oh, cool. And then and I noticed after the first guy went in that the coach was taking whatever ball they warmed up with and he was tossing it to the crowd. Right.
Yeah.
After they were warming up, they were literally warming up like if I'm looking at you, they were warming up like slightly this way, like right in front down here. So
yeah,
like right basically where my daughter was sitting. So I was like, yo, I was like, when he goes in, like stand up, cheer for him because we're like, hey, get it, whatever, blah blah blah. And they didn't make any mid game changes. It was all like beginning of the inning.
Yeah.
So it was like we knew they were going out. And then the second guy who went in, coach threw her a ball. And then that guy actually went in and then got his first major league strikeout. So
that's kind of neat.
Brand new. And then at the end of the game, they had like 6 or 7 balls, and my other daughter stood up and she was like, they were like tossing them, and she was like, hey, and like tossed it, so they got balls. So
that's awesome. There's just something magical about being in a ballpark.
Yeah, which is cool because it's the second time that they both got balls on the same night because Javi Baez, when he hit his first major league home run, it was in Colorado, and we were there. And in between the third or fourth inning, they went down and they each got a ball. The guy like pulled them up because there's a guy that gets them almost every inning. Like instead of them having like a clusterfuck of people, trying to give them the warm up ball, he'll just call one of the little kids over. So we were right on the aisle, and I worked for a sunglass company that was sponsoring the outfield wall. So we had really good seats, and so like he was like, hey, he's like the girls want him, and so they came up and they had the guy throw him too. I think it was who was their first baseman at the time? It was after Helton left, but before I can't even remember who the first baseman was, but they still had like this was like when I think like Tulo was still on the team though.
That's cool. Have you ever caught a ball during live play, like a foul ball or a home run?
Yes. I've caught foul balls. Yeah, never caught a home run. Caught a foul ball a couple times.
I've never caught a foul ball during the game. I've caught a batting practice home run barehanded, but
yeah,
everything else I've gotten has been during batting practice.
I guess I did get a batting. We got like 3 batting practice home runs when we went to spring training.
Yeah,
I scouted out the field when we were walking up, and like they had no stands behind. So I was like during batting practice they have this little hill spot. So I was like, yo, kids, I was like, if we go over there, all the home run balls are probably back there. And there was like maybe 2 or 3 people back there. So it was like 6 of us and half of them were us. So it was like and they were like some were old dudes. One dude was like a college kid. But like I was like, listen, I was like, if you take the back and I'll take the middle, because I could see the middle was like down in a ditch. So I could see underneath like they had the netting, the nets against the outfield fence.
Yeah.
But I could see underneath, so I could see when the ball was hit. So I was standing like eye level to the bottom, and then one was close, one was far, and I was like directing them. So I was like, I'm like, it's over there. It's gonna be over there.
We had a near that same day. You and I both went to games and across the country from each other.
Yeah.
I went to get Claire. They have this cool craft cave down at there's a chain link fence in right field. I mean, obviously it's like a real fence, but there's a chain link fence in right field at guaranteed rate. And they have a craft cave down there, and they just have a shitload of beers, and they have hard alcohol too. I went down there to get Claire a drink, and I came back. Bases were loaded. Brian Goodwin, White Sox right fielder, was batting, and I hear the crowd roar as I'm walking back up the steps, and I'm looking, and like everybody in our section is standing up, so I'm like, oh fuck, where is this thing? And I get back to our seat, and it was probably 2 rows behind us.
Yeah.
But on the other half of the section,
Oh yeah.
just missed a grand slam by like inches.
I almost caught a home run ball at this game. There was one. It was maybe like 15 seats down. Dude hit a home run. I was like, fuck. It was actually it was Josh Bell. Was it Josh Bell?
Josh Bell is the national, so
yeah, Josh Bell. Yeah, Josh Bell hit one. I was like, fuck. I wanted it. I was like, damn it. It was coming. And I was like, that's a homer. And then I was just like, it's pretty close. And then I was like, shit. But I caught a ball from Ian Desmond like 3 days before my son was born. They warmed up in the outfield, and then he just chucked it into the stands. And my wife was like, Tony, it's coming. It was coming right at her. Like she's 9 months pregnant. Like we had literally went to like her 39-week appointment that morning. And he was like, "Are you sure you want to go to Denver?" He's like, if your water breaks, that you're gonna be in a weird position. And she was like, "I'm not missing the Cubs game."
And it's a good story.
Yeah, so the ball's coming right at it, and it missed her. But like, I made this like crazy snagging grab like this, like stretched back, so sweet that like literally for like the next 5 innings, people were coming up and being like, "That was the best catch of the game." Like, and I was trying to find it on. Of course, it was like not a foul ball or anything like that, so there was no cameras caught it. I was like, oh.
Yeah,
but I was like, I told the story, and I was like, I made this catch, cool. What got my son's first major league ball, whatever, and Ian Desmond was like, that was a sweet catch. He's like, I'm surprised you didn't tear your abs because like I like stretched so far. I mean, like sweet, it was a sweet catch. And that ball ended up it's actually out in our living room. We have a picture of my son like bundled up, like maybe a couple of days old, and he's got his little Cubs hat on, and he's got a Cubs a baseball from the major leagues in his little thing, and his little caught.
That's cool. Did you probably didn't see because it just happened about an hour ago. Chris Bassett, the pitcher for the A's, Brian Goodwin, right fielder for the White Sox, hit a line drive off his side of his face.
Oh, shit.
It's like they said it came off the bat at just over 100 miles an hour. He went down, blood everywhere.
Yikes. That's scary.
It is scary. Did you ever have anything happen like that to you?
Yeah, I actually had a couple balls almost hit me in the face. Nothing ever hit me. The worst I got was a short hopper that I put my foot out because I was stupid and reflex tried to tell me to stop it, and it kicked off my ankle. But that was like the worst one I ever had. But I had one where I literally like threw it and I was like down, and the ball got hit back and it came like right here past my face. Like, I feel it like whip past my face.
Wow. I never got hit like that. I got hit in the bare hand one time, but that's because I stuck my hand out to try to catch the ball.
Caught a couple of those ones, especially as a lefty, because I like, and then it's like that, and I would tail off to third, and so like I'd reach back.
And then one time the catcher hit me with the ball thrown to second base.
Nice.
But I have hit several people, all my friends too, and this was it's 5th grade. I think it was opening day, so it was like 45 degrees out still.
Nice.
And he's one of my good buddies now, but I didn't really know him then. Hit one off his kneecap. I mean, we were 11, so I mean, I hit it hard for an 11-year-old, but
yeah.
And then practice when we were 15, so this would have been JV, but it was like summer ball.
Yeah.
And I was the best man in my buddy Brandon's wedding. He was throwing batting practice, so we were batting live, and he threw me a curveball, and it didn't do much. And our coach goes, "Do not hang a curveball." Next pitch, did the same thing, and I hit it off his forehead.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
And then one of my other buddies, who was an usher in my wedding, during All-Star practice, he was just goofing around, but throwing batting practice, and I hit him in like the thigh or something.
I was pretty nimble though, to be honest, like as a pitcher. I made some really good snags, like balls coming back up the middle.
Yeah, I think the thing with me was I didn't throw that hard where people were able to get ahead of it and they weren't driving it up the middle.
I didn't have too many, but my batting, I usually drive the ball back up the middle. Because one of my coaches, because I bat right-handed, because as we stated before, my T-ball coach was lazy as fuck. And so I just took the batting right-handed. But I've always felt like hitting it out to right field. Like I've always kind of inside-out swing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's an easy. A lot of people don't think you're going to go that way,
right?
And so it just feels natural to do it. So like if I miss and I'm a little early, I'm just right to the middle. I'm like fucking 5-holing pitchers.
Well, pretty soon, little Rhino's going to probably be blasting them back at you.
Dude, I've been hit by so many fucking wiffle balls, bro. I just watched a video and he rockets the ball, dude. Like this was 2 years ago. He was like, that's why we hit in the basement. He just like swings so fucking hard. He's got like this, like from here to here is like, it's like, holy shit, that ball's flying off of fucking.
It'll be fun to see when he gets bigger. Obviously,
he's actually got a really good. Let's see if I can pull it up and I'll play a video wise so you can see it on the. It won't actually be. I'll just show you off my screen, but you'll be
somewhere there's a VHS of me when I'm like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
it had to be 6 because it was T-ball, but it was when the coaches would pitch half the time.
Oh yeah,
one of my best friend's dads was our coach, and he was pitching, and I hit him in the nuts. And there's a video of it.
That should have been the America's Funniest Home Videos.
I know.
So this was him. This was my son, like right before he was 2. So this was right. This was like he was like 23 months old. So, but like watch this. This is him throwing back then.
Wow.
Like kid's got like a natural motion. Like
yeah, it looks good too. Like it looks better than half the kids that I coached in T-ball this year.
And then watch it. He'll start hitting here in a second. But like, yeah, I just like a ball flies. Actually, I think there's one that hits me here in a second.
Yeah.
Like he just rockets balls, dude.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's nuts, man. But that's what happens when I had him on a tee at 12 months before he could walk. Like he was like up against a Tupperware, like so.
Well, that'll do it.
I mean, he's definitely a righty though, which sucks. But I mean, it's probably better for him because he can play more positions. But
there's only like 2 positions that really matter, and that's pitcher and first base, anyways. So
yeah, I mean, I always love shortstop and third base though. I love the double play ball.
I've been playing the middle guy in softball. So like you play 10, so you instead of having 4 outfielders, we'll just have 3, and then we'll throw another guy in the infield.
Rover?
Yeah. Yeah, we call it the turn guy because he turns the double plays. So I've been playing that lately on our Sunday team.
Yeah.
And I love it because I never got to turn double plays like growing up because I've played first base or pitch. And
I played shortstop.
So I love getting double plays. It's my favorite.
I play shortstop in softball. So like I'd cheat in towards second base, but like a little further out because I had like a pretty strong arm. So like I'd play pretty deep. So like I had almost everything to third base, glove side, and I could turn and make the throw. Or if it was like up the middle, I had that. Or if it was double play, dude, I'd love doing the double plays where like I'd get there and like I'd catch it and then I'd just jump in the air and be like.
I always like spinning because then I'm throwing it blind. But normally, like I always like doing the spin move when I was pitching, anyways.
Yeah,
and
that's what I do. Coming charging a ball at shortstop, I'll always spin almost. Or if I play third base out of corner, it's always a spin.
Yeah,
unless I go backside.
I played third a little bit when I first started playing softball, but every time my ball would just tail away from the first baseman. Could never.
Dude, I loved it because like my favorite thing is like because you play a lot of teams that that you didn't know or whatever. And like, so then, because we had a pretty good softball facility out in Virginia Beach, and so like everyone would be like, "Oh, lefty shorts, all left to their base. Oh, that, oh, we're gonna hit it to him," and then it'd be like the first inning, and I'd be like, and I'd be like, "Oh, don't hit it to him, don't." But I was like a cocky asshole. I was like literally like 22. It was like right after my arm got repaired, and I had like all full strength on it, and like, and so like, and my gloves always been super strong. So I spray painted both my gloves metallic gold. Like it was like hilarious. What's up, buddy? I was just showing videos of you to Gems. You playing baseball. You like baseball? Tell Gems what the best team is. What's the best team?
Baseball.
Huh?
Baseball.
Yeah, what's the best team?
White Sox.
Look at
The-
who's that? The
The
Cubbies.
Cubbies.
Sing the song. Sing the win song.
No.
Go Cubs, go.
I need from.
Okay, go bring me your tablet then. Go bring
He
it.
sounds exactly like Claire.
Give me the ball. Oh, nice throw.
Have you tried to stretch it out and throw anytime semi recently?
I did actually. Right before we went on vacation. Yeah, I'm an idiot. I didn't take my glove. And I'm obviously left-handed, so I actually we went over our middle school friend. Her sister lives out like 30 minutes from us,
Mhm.
so we drove out to see her, and like we see her sister, and then like every probably like 18 months or so. So we kind of have like we never see them other than when she's in town, but she's like super nice. So her son plays pretty high level. He's like a sophomore, I think, in baseball this year. And what do you need from this?
Huh?
What do you need from it?
Um.
It's like all like, oh, I lost my thing, Rhino. You messed me up. I lost. What'd you just do? What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do?
Just switch it to baseball.
You want baseball?
Mhm.
Okay, sweet. See, baseball, man. Baseball. Cubs highlights.
I don't think they have those anymore.
I know. Not if anybody's on the team. Those are damn cool. All right, there you go, bud. Go watch some baseball.
Hey,
highlights.
they actually won today.
Spider-Man.
You want Spider-Man now? Jeez. Okay. Yeah. I didn't even check. I didn't see the name. Who's he?
Yeah.
That's Gems. Gems is my buddy. There you go.
Nice.
Get out of here.
I'm the least cool person your dad talks to on here.
Get out of here. I'm just gonna start telling him you're Peyton Manning. No, but it's I stretched it out so I took I went and I borrowed his right-handed glove. So I was throwing right-handed. And he was like, he's like, dang, you're pretty good for not having thrown in a while. I was like, yeah, and I didn't tell him I was lefty. And then he overthrew me one time. So I was like, I got pretty short distance, good, like probably like anything infield wise, but it was like kind of far because they live out in the country. So like I picked it up and I just like grabbed it and I just winged it right to the glove. Like he was like, "Are you left-handed?" I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Oh shit." I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You should have brought your glove." I was like, "Yeah, I didn't think about it. I should have. Next time I'll bring my glove."
In 18 months.
I'll probably be a senior. But I was talking. The cool thing was I was talking to him about getting scouted and all that kind of stuff, and his parents don't really know anything about like the scouting process and stuff.
Yeah.
So they're like picking my brain a little bit about it, and I was like, yeah, I was like, this is how I rolled when I was there. The biggest thing was like, and it was right as like the name, image, likeness thing happened. So I was like, the cool thing is you'll probably get more response than I did because back then it was like people had no clue like who they could talk to, when they could talk to them. It was like you didn't want to break rules. Now it's like with the name, image, likeness thing, it's like it's a little bit looser. So
right.
So yeah, I enjoyed it though. I had fun. But yeah, that was the last time I like really aired it out, and it was like right-handed. But then I threw a bunch like lefty. I'd catch it, and then I'd just like throw it back lefty.
Like Jim Abbott, but you have two hands.
Jim Abbott was a pitcher on the first game that I ever witnessed when he was on the White Sox.
Really?
Yep.
I read a book on him. I used to read baseball biographies in like elementary school and high school.
Yeah.
and he like led his college team in home runs or something. Like I guess he was a really good hitter. I think did he go?
He went to the University of Michigan.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Pretty sure.
Maybe it was his high school team he led. I don't know. I know he used to hit a bunch of home runs.
I think he played quarterback on the football team too.
Wouldn't surprise me.
I feel like that's like true, but I could be lying. Let's see, Jim Abbott. That's wild. I saw him at my first game, and it was like 1995, the 1 year he played with the White Sox. Let's see. I'll say he did play like. I don't have like an early life. So he's from Flint, Michigan, with the University of Michigan. Best amateur athlete in 1987, won a gold medal in the '88 Olympics. He was a first-round draft selection. He's currently a motivational speaker.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I believe it. All right, so playing career, blah, blah, blah. So he was a standout quarterback. So I did get that right. I don't know if he actually played, though, in college, did he? He was drafted in the 36th round by the Blue Jays in '85, but did not sign. Instead, he decided to go to University of Michigan. He played 3 years at Michigan, leading the team to 2 Big Ten championships. Won Amateur Athlete of the Year, becoming the first baseball player ever to win that award. That's crazy.
Wow.
He was a flag bearer at the U.S. Olympics, for the U.S. Olympics at the Pan Am Games in Indianapolis. That's crazy.
That's nuts. Like, that really shows you can do pretty much anything.
Dude, I mean
he had one hand.
Yeah, he played with one hand. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, he's in the College Baseball Hall of Fame.
Nice. Does it say where the College Baseball Hall of Fame is located? My guess would be Omaha, but I don't know if it is.
Lubbock, Texas.
Interesting. I guess Rice and Texas, although I don't know if either of those are close to that town, are pretty big baseball schools.
Okay, hold on, though. Let's see this. So the College Baseball Foundation was formed in 2004 as a nonprofit organization. Ceremonial groundbreaking in June of 2015 in Lubbock. In April 2017, the foundation announced that it would no longer pursue constructing a museum in Lubbock. So there's no actual museum, I guess.
There should be.
Should be for sure, dude.
The College Football Hall of Fame used to be in South Bend, but they moved somewhere else. I don't know where it is now.
Oh, dude, College Baseball Hall of Fame. So that's what I'm looking at. Can you name the first class? 2006.
College Baseball Hall of Fame?
2006.
2006
was the first class.
So, I mean, I guess that encompasses all previous.
Yeah. Everybody who was on there was a professional baseball player.
Dave Winfield.
He wasn't there.
Huh?
Yeah, he is.
I figured he was there because he got drafted in 4 sports. So
that makes sense. Fair enough.
How many are there?
There's 5.
5?
Yep.
That's a pretty good start for me.
Two old timey guys. I'd consider Dave Winfield, and there's another older timey guy. Then there's somebody who played on the back end of Dave Winfield's career, and then somebody else who played on the back end of that guy's kind of career, and then a random dude that you probably won't pick.
Barry Sanders. Barry Bonds?
Barry Bonds is not one of them.
Because he went to Arizona State.
What if I give you the colleges they went to?
Maybe.
Okay, so Minnesota was Dave Winfield. Then you have Oklahoma State, Texas, Arizona State, and Mississippi State.
If you probably better off giving me their major league team.
The Giants.
The Giants?
Yeah.
And it wasn't Barry Bonds.
Nope. Then the older.
Is it Will Clark?
Will Clark, yeah. He went to Mississippi State.
Okay.
Then the next guy played the majority, except for 1 year, with the Braves in the pros. He's an older timey guy.
Older timey guy, played with the Braves.
Played major league debut 78. Last major league game he played was 88.
Mark Whitten.
Nope.
Is this one I should feel stupid for?
feel like you should know it, but
88 Braves.
he's not like a super. It's not. He wouldn't be the first name I thought of when I thought of the Braves, but he would be somebody that I would know the name. I know the name for sure.
I don't know.
Bob Horner.
I don't think I would have ever got that.
Then the other one played for a number of teams, including the White Sox, who he was drafted to, the Mets, the Yankees, the Dodgers, and then he also managed.
It's Robin Ventura.
White Sox.
I almost guessed him. I forgot he went to Oklahoma State. He held the record for the longest hitting streak in college baseball history.
Oh, for real? And then the last one, I guarantee you didn't know, but he was like somebody I thought was going to be good. He was drafted by the Cubs, Brooks Kieschnick.
Wasn't he a pitcher too? Pitcher and hitter?
He did, pitcher and outfielder, yeah.
Because he played for the Brewers as well.
Yep, played for the Brewers at the end of his career. Brooks Kieschnick went to Texas. They got some pretty good guys in here. I mean, some dudes that definitely would be guys that should deserve to be in the College Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I mean, Pete Incaviglia was like the next year.
Who?
Pete Incaviglia.
I don't know who that is.
Inviglia or whatever his fucking name was. Played for the Texas Rangers back in like the 80s.
Luckily, after sometime in like 2 years, after it's done, we'll know everything about baseball history.
That's right. And it'll be dope. We'll probably go through some of that stuff. I'm pumped.
The Cubs and Reds are in the next Field of Dreams game.
Cubs and the Reds? That'll be interesting. It would have been a lot better if it was like the Rizzo, Baez, Bryant Cubs and not whatever the fuck whoever they're gonna have.
I'm not just saying this because I'm a White Sox homer, but they should just be like how the Lions play Thanksgiving every year. They should just let the White Sox play the Field of Dreams game every year.
You know what they should do, and I think it would be kind of cool, is they should have the team that won the previous year
be
the home team the next year.
I like it.
And then you can pick whoever, because the fucking White Sox play almost everybody, so a White Sox Cubs fucking Field of Dreams game would be cool.
Yeah. I wonder if they're just going to alternate back and forth between the Sox and Cubs with it, since they're the most local. But St. Louis really isn't that far. Anybody I suppose could play there.
I'm surprised they don't have the Cubs playing the
Cardinals.
Cardinals. That would have been.
That's what I would have thought.
Well, the White Sox weren't originally even supposed to be in it, were they?
No, they were in it last year, but it got canceled. But I don't remember if they were playing the Yankees last year. Part of me thinks they were supposed to play the Cardinals last year, but I don't know.
I don't know. It's wild though, yeah. But I thought it was a great setup.
It was an awesome game too. Like they
could
have scripted a better ending for it.
Yeah, I saw a couple people complaining. They were like, "Oh, I'm watching this game because it's supposed to be special, and it's a little bit it's dragging on." I'm like, this game's pretty good. Like, what are you talking?
Yeah, it was very good, and even with the umpire having a dog shit strike zone.
Yeah, he had a rough strike zone, dude. He had a rough strike zone. That's the thing baseball strike zones are rough.
Yeah, and for the Field of Dreams game, they didn't have any of the StatCast stuff there, so you couldn't check the box, like how they always superimpose the box on the screen. I was like, that guy is lucky.
Yeah, he definitely got. I remember one that he called the strike that was I think it was like strike 2 on somebody, and it was bad.
And then Michael Kopech, who doesn't say things, he's went like this after he threw his arms out after he didn't strike somebody out.
Yeah, it was pretty rough. The strike zone, but that's kind of, I guess that is. By the way, speaking of that, did you know that back in the day, umpires used to sit in like a chair, not even behind home plate,
behind the pitcher?
They would sit like off to the side, like where where the batting, where like the on deck circle would be, I guess.
That's weird.
And sometimes they would even confer with the stands as to whether it was a strike or ball.
That's crazy. I heard an ad on the radio, and I think it was for Drizzly. Is that the alcohol delivery service?
Yeah.
It's like the shortest Major League Baseball game to ever be played was 51 minutes. It's like, that is insane. That had to be like, it had to be a 1-0 game.
Like, I mean,
It was in 1919.
If you think about it, the only way that could be, it's got to be like a one. You're right. It got to be like a 1-0 game, and then it has to be very few pitches.
Oh yeah, lots of swings and ground balls, fly balls,
like early contact, like because that's the only way you get through. Because if you throw a 3-pitch inning, if for some reason, I wonder if it has to have had happened at some point where both pitchers threw a 3-pitch inning.
It probably happened a couple times that game.
Probably, because that's a pretty fast inning if you think about it.
Definitely. So, if you do like these little baseball tidbits, keep an eye out for our future endeavor.
We can tell what it basically is, Jim.
I think we might have before, but I don't know.
We haven't said the name of it, and we won't say the name of it until it comes out. But basically, we're going to go year by year for baseball history. And it's going to be each episode will be a year of baseball history. It'll be super fun. It won't be like just boring, like this was the home run leader and this was the blah, blah, blah. And like, it'll be cool stories from that time that maybe no one's really ever dug into.
I think there'll be a ton of cool stories on the old.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. So I think it'll be incredibly awesome. I think it'll be super fun and really, like, as a fan of baseball, I look forward to doing the research portion of it, as well as like just like digging into like find out like the origins of where the baseball game we love today is.
Right. From. Especially since it's so perfect. Like the mound being 60 feet 6 inches and the base being 90, and like
that's trial and error though. They weren't always that.
Huh?
That's trial and error though. They weren't always that.
Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to see like when that starts and all that kind of stuff.
They were supposedly trying in some independent leagues a 61.5-foot mound, which I think is stupid.
That's so fucked up. It's such a precise thing to do that like that would fuck some people up.
It would fuck batters up too because your timing would be off.
Yeah, their whole life you're because when do you get to 60 feet 6 inches? High school?
Maybe 14, 15?
Yeah, I was gonna say like because. So like since then, so basically from the time you start facing live pitching from other kids, like that's the distance you're taking.
So I think the mound before 60 feet, is it 46 feet? 60-foot bases?
Maybe.
But the math there doesn't work out with. Because you'd figure if the bases are a third shorter, the mound should be a third shorter, but it's not.
Yeah. So Little League World Series, the mound is 40 feet, it looks like, maybe.
That would make sense then with the 60 feet bases.
40 feet. Oh, wait. Okay. For the major level, 46 is 46 feet. Sorry. Pitching distance for division of baseball and junior and senior is 60 feet 6 inches. So yeah, once you get to the junior senior division, you're at 60 feet 6 inches, but it's 46 at like the World Series side. Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
If they shorten it to 75 feet, it looks like in juniors, but let's see. It's weird how they lay it out. There's so many different weird leagues where you jump and then you're like playing like an adult basically.
Right.
So it's kind of weird. Pitching rubber is 46 feet though, yeah. So I mean, let's see, before 60 and a half feet.
I think the World Series has started now too. I thought I seen a clip of some kid throwing with both hands the other day.
It usually starts right around the beginning of school time. So yeah.
Yeah, because I remember being a kid thinking like, man, if we go far this year, I don't have to go like the first week of school.
We almost went to the Little League World Series. I was one game away.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we won. We won the game actually.
So how does that work then?
We apparently weren't signed up properly. So we won, and then we weren't in the right um, league or whatever. They're like, because we were a military team. It was weird,
Oh,
but we were good. Like one of the best probably teams I've ever played on. Like
anybody? I know you played with some of like Alex. Was it? Oh,
Alex
Ryan Zimmerman and stuff.
Alex Gordon I played with in Little League, but he was on that team. But yeah, we were just good. We just had good. It was weird because we had the kid Jason Whitrock, we had a kid Josh Maybe, and then me. We were like our three studs, and we all caught and we all pitched. So it was like we would rotate like pitching and catching.
Did you see relatively or not too long ago the Royals had Alex Gordon throw out the first pitch in a game, but he did it from left field?
No, it's tight though. That's sweet.
Did he come? He came up as a third baseman, right?
Yeah, sure did. He did. He actually at one point had the highest priced baseball card ever sold.
Which was, I seen the Honus Wagner just sold for like 6.5 or something million the other day.
Yeah, nuts. But
I'd like to come across one of those.
But Alex Gordon had one. It was a error. They didn't put his name on it, or they put his name on it, didn't put a picture of him on it. Can't remember, but he was like a hot prospect, and Keith Olbermann bought it for like something like 1.5 million or some shit like that.
Wow,
something stupid. It was like the highest priced baseball card at the time for like a short period.
He almost ended up as a Cub the World Series year. I remember there's a lot of talk about them trading for him.
Yeah, I thought that would have been tight. I mean, it would have been sweet. I would have rooted for him. It's funny because he came up as third baseman. He went to the University of Nebraska too.
Who else? I'm trying to think of other baseball. Darren Erstad, I think, went to the University of Nebraska because I think he was a punter there too.
Punter, yeah, he played punter on their team too. Yeah, the University of Nebraska has some pretty good baseball players that have come from there. I'm pretty sure he didn't. Did he? Maybe he did. No, 2007. Yeah, he would have been 23. So yeah, he definitely. He was a 3-time All-Star, won a World Series, 8-time Gold Glover, Golden Spikes Award winner. Yeah, he was a Dick. He has the Dick Hauser Trophy.
I'm glad you kind of cut off that sentence before you finished it the first time. He has a dick.
It's a Dick Hauser Trophy. Dick Hauser Trophy. That's such a weird. What's this trophy for? College baseball's best college baseball's best player. Dick Hauser. What a name. Fucking, that's crazy.
And then, but I think listed on stuff, it's gonna obviously be last name first and then first name.
Hauser
like when
Dick.
you list the lineup, yeah. Hauser Dick.
Hauser Dick. Hauser Dick. Yeah, dude, it's wild though, because Darren Erstad played there. Someone else played in Nebraska that
Corey Schlesinger.
Corey Schlesinger did play it. Yeah, yes, he did. So good. Fucking Corey Schlesinger was the man, dude. We need Corey Schlesinger back.
They got who did? I was watching the game the other day, and they do have what's their fullback's name? I can't remember.
Dude, I can't even remember.
I did see today the Lions just released Don Mulbach, the long snapper.
I did see that. I was like, on his 40th birthday, nonetheless. He's been on the team for like 40 years, so
he probably played with Dan Campbell.
He did, yeah. Because Dan Campbell's last year with the Lions was the year we went 0-16.
I think I remember hearing that.
Because I was pissed off because he left, and he's the reason we got Stafford, and then his first year back, he's the reason Stafford is gone. So you're like, fuck you, man. I was trying to see. So Nebraska has had a bunch of people drafted. Holy shit. Okay. Dude, Nebraska had like 36 people drafted at one time. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
But it doesn't say who they are. I don't know. Oh, there it is. Players. I'll go to just like our era. I'll find Alex Gordon and then see who else went from there. Oh, Brian Dunsing went to Nebraska. You remember him?
Brian Dunsing? I think so.
And then Zach Kronik. Oh, Jabba Chamberlain. That's who I was fucking trying to think of.
Say Jabba?
Jabba Chamberlain. Remember Jabba Chamberlain?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, he went there. That's right.
Taylor just texted me and said, "What is that noise coming from the basement?" And I was like, "I do not hear any noise, and I am in the basement."
It's probably you. She just doesn't know you're on a podcast.
Maybe. Normally, by this point in time, she's texting me and telling me I got something wrong.
Oh shit! Yeah, she's probably like, "You guys are boring today." No, yeah, it's crazy though. What the fuck? That's weird. There's one dude that got drafted like 4 times.
Really?
Yeah, because he just kept coming back, obviously. But
all right, I'm gonna pause here for a second because she's like, it sounds like a knocking. So I mean, it could be coming from somewhere else, I suppose.
Yeah, good point. I'm gonna go check on my son. So
I heard nothing. She claimed it's probably me. I was like, well, Tone didn't hear anything.
No, I didn't hear nothing.
She asked if I was fidgeting, and I was like, I'm always fidgeting.
Always the fidgets, you know. I don't know what my son's doing. I walked out and he was like, I was like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "The splits." He's like, he looked like he was on the ground, like dry humping the ground. But I was like, "What are you doing, too?" He was like, "I'm doing the splits," and then he was like trying to show me. I was like, "You're a weird man. I don't know what you're doing." Just crazy. So the good thing is, I guess so we're back into regular rotation of podcasting, so that's good. Anything you're looking forward to, Jim? Anything you're looking forward to? I don't even want to know. It just broke. Something broke, probably for sure. Anything you're looking forward to this football season? What do you think we're doing this year with the Lions?
I am honestly, normally by this point in time, I've gotten like lists of stuff together for fantasy football and read all sorts of shit on the Lions, and I've done zero research or anything this year. I think the Lions will be better than everybody thinks, but I don't think I don't think there's very many weapons like offensively. Like Goff will be fine and the running backs will be fine, but is the number 1 wide receiver Tyrell Williams?
Tyrell's good, and just I don't know.
Perryman?
I don't know about him as a 1. But Perryman was a first-round draft choice, but he hasn't done anything.
Yeah, so I don't know. It would just be TJ Hawkinson, I guess.
I definitely drafted TJ Hawkinson in a few of my underdog fantasy drafts. So I'll take that. And I feel like that's a solid. I saw him right before we got on. I was watching fantasy, ESPN's fantasy football thing, and they had him ranked 5th tight end.
It's not too bad.
So, I mean, he did make the Pro Bowl as tight end last year. So
You're well in tune with what's going on in football. What are you thinking for the Lions? What are your
my I think I don't know. So the over under is 5 wins. Vegas has it set at 5. I think we're over. I looked at the schedule. I said 8 at least, and I got clowned for that. Definitely, by the internet. And I was like, I think people just don't realize, like, we're the Lions. We're gonna definitely and Goff is like in that weird like year where like if he plays well, like we might just think he's our actual quarterback. And I'm like, I think Goff's good enough to be a starting quarterback. I just don't want him to be my starting quarterback.
He's definitely capable of it. He had 2 or 3 years ago, he had like an MVP caliber season.
Yeah, he's been to the Super Bowl. I mean, but he also had a really good defense. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to guess 9 to 10 wins. And I know that's super optimistic. Like 9-8 or 10-7. And I'm like, I don't know with the extra game if that puts us in the playoffs, but I wouldn't be surprised if we make the playoffs. And for some reason, if we make the playoffs, I feel like we can win a game in the playoffs. Just because that's the way the Lions would do it. Jared Goff would come in and win a playoff game, and Matt Stafford never did.
And then the Rams pissed the bed this year, and
yeah,
as soon as that trade happened,
which would be absolutely awesome for us if the Rams shit the bed because we have their first round pick.
I did make a future bet for the Rams to win the Super Bowl this year as soon as that trade happened.
I mean, not a bad plan. So, Yeah, it's weird. I don't know. I feel like we're gonna do good. I feel like we're in the 8, 9, 10 win range, just
I don't,
because of the Lions being the Lions, and that seems like such a Lions thing to do.
or what a Lions thing to do is they start off like 4-0 or 5-1 or something, and they're like, oh, they're actually a pretty good team, and then they rattle off like 6 straight losses.
Yeah, well, that's why I was thinking like 9 and 8 seemed like legit, but we'd be like 9 and 7 going into like the last week, and we'll probably play the fucking, I don't even know if we play the Packers, the Bears, the Vikings, one of those teams. We play one of those teams, and like it'll be like win and we're in the playoffs, and we'll probably lose.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I think it'll be better than Vegas thinks. I think they'll go over 5.
I think
They'll either go over 5 or be super under with like 2 wins.
Yeah, I definitely think they're going over 5 though. Like, I don't know. I feel like 5 is way too low.
Yeah,
Seems like we have the second lowest projected win total, only to the Jaguars.
Jaguars or Jets?
Maybe it's the Jets. Maybe it's Jets.
Either way.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like we're getting like kind of the raw end of the deal though. I feel like we're going to be better than most people think.
It would be a Lions thing to be absolutely dog shit this year and get the first overall pick the year after Trevor Lawrence was.
Then we get Spencer Rattler, probably.
Is he from Oklahoma? Where's he? Oklahoma?
Oklahoma guy, yeah. Spencer Rattler. He's like, I don't know.
He just sounds like he would be like on like the hills or one of those shows like Laguna Beach or something.
Yeah. Well, there was a Spencer on that. That's why.
I think that's where I'm getting it.
But yeah. No, I don't know. I feel like we're gonna be better than we probably should be. But my thing is this is like everyone's like Aaron Rodgers back. Oh, it's the Packers division now. I mean, I guess maybe, but then it's like the Vikings overperformed last year, and the Bears don't really have a quarterback. Like, I mean, they have Justin Fields who looked good, but he's a rookie.
They make it sound like he won't start week 1 too. So
well, that's what I had in my thing. I had us beating them week 3, I think it was, and then I had us losing to them in like week 8 or some shit like that. And I'm like, I think we'll play Andy Dalton. I think we'll beat them early in the season.
I hope so. I really hope it's for Taylor's sanity that the Lions don't suck too bad. But I think this will be my last year with DirecTV though, because I believe the Sunday ticket package is up.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason we keep Sunday or DirecTV.
That is the only reason we keep DirecTV. So I'm with you on that. Hopefully they fucking figure out, like, if they just made its own app, like give NBA League Pass, you can purchase and stream it from your phone and stream.
This network guy tried telling me that you can just order Sunday ticket standalone, and I was like, you can't. I've looked into it before.
I think you can if you're like a college student.
Maybe. I think that sounds right.
But like, I'm not a college student.
Or a business, maybe? I don't know.
No, because businesses are fucked up. My buddy owned a bar, and you had to pay for that thing for every TV that's in that place.
Oh, so that's like $1,500 probably at that point.
Yeah. So that's fucked.
I'd like to own a bar, I think. I always thought that would be cool to own a sports bar.
Yeah, that'd be dope. We'll just add it to our list of things.
Put it to the list.
Off the rails.
People might think it's a Coke bar or something, though.
Off the rails. And then the way I just have drinks that are like taking the bump or something. Like shit like that. That'd be hilarious. Dude, that'd be tight though. That'd be a fun thing to do. Like after you can grow a podcast and podcast network big enough and turn it into a bar. Because I think all of us are kind of bar-y type people. Like,
yeah, it would be an excuse for me to go to the bar. I mean, I don't never anymore crave to go to the bar. Maybe like once or twice a year. But
yeah. Well, my biggest thing with the bar is like I'm smart enough now that I'm like, why am I gonna go pay $8 for a Guinness when I can just buy an entire thing for $8?
Right.
Like, I mean, it tastes different, but I mean, you know what I mean.
That's like at the game. I think it was $11.75 for a beer or something.
Yeah. I don't
So
even
like,
know.
I don't know how people go and drink like 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, I had one.
Yeah, I think I don't even know what we spent at the Nationals game because my wife paid for everything. She like went out and got stuff, but she got like there was like 3 Cokes, a water, funnel
That's like
cake,
$40.
Cotton candy, and there was something else. I feel like
I spent a lot of money at the game last night, but that was Claire's first game, and pretty much anything she wanted,
she
I
got.
got for her.
Yeah, might as well. You got to make the first experience the best.
Right.
So, and then hopefully you hope that other things make it better other times. My kids had a blast. They didn't want to be there to start with. They were like, "Oh, baseball games." My daughters were like, and then after like 2 innings, they were like into it. So,
Yeah.
we just took their phones from them, made them watch.
That's all right.
So, yeah, I feel like that's a solid 30-second episode, James.
I think so too. We are 82 minutes in, 84 minutes in.
Crushing it, you know?
Yeah.
So we're back. We're back to regular schedule. Like I said, 2 episodes have already dropped before this, and this is like the 3rd one. And then we'll be back on a regular recording schedule. We'll be back to getting guests and having fun times. And
we will be back on the rails.
On the rails. We went off the rails for a while. Now we're just off the rails. So, all right, Gems. Any parting shots?
No, I don't think I have anything. Nothing super exciting going on this week.
Nothing.
As far as I know.
Go follow at off the rails _pod. I think.
Yeah.
And,
pretty close to it.
If it looks like a baseball and it says off the rails, that's us.
Yep.
And then we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Welcome off to the web.